The technical team assembled for the A1 Grand Prix project have all been hand-picked by Sheikh Maktoum. A combination of experience and reputation has brought this formidable partnership of companies together to form the technical infrastructure to the series.
Everybody, the entire team has been working phenomenally well, and they've really done a fantastic job, and everyone from the drivers to the mechanics to the engineers to Zytek to Lola to Avon, I mean everyone's come together beautifully to form a formidable team.
Lola, the most consistently successful manufacturer of advanced technology racing cars in the world, has been commissioned specially to design and build the chassis for the A1 Grand Prix car. The World Cup of Motorsport is the single largest race car order in motorsport history.
Lola has existed since 1958, and throughout that time it's designed and built racing cars, all sorts of racing cars, sports cars, single-seater cars. It's grown in size, and we have a full facility here. We have design, we have aerodynamics, we have rig testing, we have composite, mould and manufacturing. We really are a one-stop shop when it comes to racing cars. One of our sales team got a call from one of Sheikh Maktoum's people. He certainly wanted something that looked exciting. To some degree, we were writing the rules ourselves. I guess we did about 20 concept designs for him. Obviously, all the time we're doing that, we've got in mind the practical side of a racing car. He forced us to think a little bit outside the box, and it was a good exercise to design an exciting looking car.
We were given effectively 8 weeks from the initial kick-off to produce this car and get it onto the launch. The shape of the car was actually developed pretty much as a styling sketch, which is pretty unusual for a race car. This is what we started with, which is the picture that was launched with the press release originally, and that shape was developed with the Sheikh to encompass all the features that he wanted and that he liked about the car. What we're going to have to do now is then take that shape back into the wind tunnel to optimise the balance of the car, the cooling systems, the drivability and the downforce and the drag, all those parameters to make it into a good racing car.
The wind tunnel we've got here at Lola is a closed loop wind tunnel, so it's got a fan in a continuous tube which comes round to the working section where there's a rolling road with the model on. Above the car you have an overhead balance which measures all of the forces on the car. In addition to that, we can pressure tap various parts of the car and monitor the flow. The car's very modular, so you can take parts on and off from one run to another and then monitor what effect that has on the forces and cooling of the car. We've moved forward on the downforce level. We've added about 40% so far to the downforce of the first car. We've also worked a bit on the cooling system, so we're better now for launch.
Recently we've been testing the structure integrity of the chassis, which includes the rollover structures, the nose cone and all the survival cell with which the driver sits. We take the chassis to Cranfield Impact Centre, where the chassis is mounted to a trolley which is impacted into a vertical barrier, and then all the measurements are taken. The FAA sets all the guidelines to which we have to pass. We were within 50% of all the required deaccelerations for this test.
Zytek is a specialist engineering consultancy with a distinguished motorsport heritage and enviable reputation for reliability in providing the engines. The A1 Grand Prix V8 engine packs 550 brake horsepower and has been specifically designed and manufactured for A1 Grand Prix. A total of 50 units are being built.
His Highness Sheikh Maktoum got in touch with us about April 2004 and explained that he wanted to have an engine, a pure race engine, 90-degree V8 engine to race in his new A1 Grand Prix Championship. So he came to see us, we demonstrated the engine, we showed him the facilities we had here, and within 2 days he'd made the decision to choose our engine. We've got a 25,000 square foot factory here which will house all of the manufacture for the engine. Probably about 75% of manufacture will be done here. All of the design, all of the development of the engine will be done here, and all of the servicing of the engine will be done here at Repton. He was very explicit that he wanted a racing engine that was going to be extremely reliable, and reliability obviously is a major key to a one-make championship. We have a EGS system, which is an electric gearshift system. It's quite unique in fact, the fact that it's a pure electromechanical system as opposed to the hydraulic or pneumatic systems currently used in motorsport.
Basically this is fairly similar in operation to what you have on a Formula 1 car, in that you have a paddle on the steering wheel that changes gear for the driver. However, instead of using hydraulics or pneumatics, as some other systems use, this is a purely electrical system. It's entirely manufactured within Zytek, so we design and build the power electronics and the microprocessors that do the control. We design and build the actuators and wind the coils and encapsulate it. It's pretty innovative, it's pretty high up, so there's a lot of power electronics and a lot of processing in the module that controls the entire system. There isn't any specific maintenance. It should be a very low maintenance solution. There's no moving parts, and once it's set up, then it should just go forever, really.
His Highness Sheikh Maktoum requested, when he came to see us originally, of a push-to-pass button, which would give an additional 30 horsepower increase, so taking the standard 520 brake horsepower up to around about 550. So we've looked at various different options on the test bed, and we've now honed into a specification that we're quite confident will be performing okay in the car. This will probably be tested in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and we're very, very happy that this is going to actually do what His Highness Sheikh Maktoum wanted it to do. Zytek will be taking probably somewhere in the region of 10 engineers along to each race, and we'll cover all the areas that we're responsible for on the car. So we'll have electronic engineers there to cover the engine management, we'll have calibration engineers there for the gear shift systems, we'll have electricians there for wiring harness, engine support personnel, and we'll have a project leader as well.
The A1 Grand Prix cars will race on Cooper tyres with their worldwide reputation for success. The popularity and track record of its racing tyres continue to grow, with more than 100 overall championship winners each year in more than 27 countries.
We first got into motor racing, I think, in about 1959, when we won Le Mans with Aston Martin and Stirling Moss. And since then we've raced all over the world and done millions of miles. They really wanted a bespoke tyre to suit the formula they had, the places it was racing and the type of car. And they wanted someone with a track record in providing a contract tyre to a one-make tyre formula that basically they could rely on. From the very start, we worked with Lola from the concept of the car and the design to make sure that the car and the tyre package could work together. So we got off to a flying start on that. We'll be providing one slick race tyre for dry conditions, obviously, and for the wet, one type of wet tyre, which will probably tend towards a monsoon or a heavier treaded tyre. But we've got a lot of experience in making a wet tyre that can cope with deep water, but is still durable when the track dries out, so that's what we're targeting. We're part of the A1 team. We have people at the track to fit the tyres. We'll have someone at the track to manage the overall operation. And we'll have technical people working with the teams in the pit lane, so every time a car comes in they'll be checking the tyres for any damage from debris, so that's the first priority, is safety, and also working with the teams to optimise the setup of the cars so that they can get the most out of the tyres. Some of the things it means to the guys working on it is in Jerez we had many different suppliers, the A1 GP team coming together. It was great from a teamwork point of view. Everyone just worked as a team, and the Sheikh has really built a good team. It's just unbelievable.
I think the car is very, very drivable and gives you lots of feedback. I think you can see I'm driving around and with lots of confidence to slide the car around, which is obviously a good sign for making good racing, but obviously for newcomers it makes it a lot easier to jump into a big car like this and drive it. For sure it's a lot less pitch sensitive than any other Formula 3000s I've driven or Formula 1 car, which is partly due to the design, which is obviously good for the championship.
It's better than I expected, really. I had an open mind. I wasn't really going to have any ideas before I got in, but it's a great car to drive, really fun, and I can imagine enjoying racing with it.